great opportunity. My name is Dr. Joy Austria. I'm the ESOL Instructional Specialist for high schools. Right now, we have around 14 high schools in the county that have ESOL population, including the international high school. So we are excited to have this Google Hangout with you at High Point High School. And of course, we have Dr. Ronnie Lowenstein, and she is the Executive Director Advisor to Dr. Maxwell in STEMX. Now, before we introduce the other schools, because even though we already have Eleanor Roosevelt online with us. Hi, Eleanor Roosevelt.
Hi.
Can you all, okay, let me hear one more. Something that's really exciting. Are you excited, Eleanor Roosevelt?
Yes.
Yay! Are you excited, High Point High School?
Yes.
We are waiting for Bladensburg High School to join us, as well as Duval High School.
So we're not live yet.
We are live.
Oh, we are live.
Yes, we are
okay.
live. Yes.
Then let me welcome. Okay, so I thought we were just doing our little warm-up of our local community in Prince George's County. So I will elaborate with what Dr. Austria has said. The superintendent believes, like we do, in the power of youth, and that you have the power to shape the future. So he has adopted the Global Next Generation of Youth as a strategy to empower the teachers and to inspire the youth. And what we do, the Next Generation of Youth was launched in 1999 to address what we call the digital divide. And it believes in engaging youth in civic activities, cultivating skills and media literacy, and giving youth voice, an opportunity for you to share and connect with role models, but also with peers across the district, across your schools, across the country, and around the world. And since 1999, leaders and schools have joined together from many countries so that we could cultivate you as global citizens who are prepared, STEAM-enabled, given skills in science, technology, engineering, the arts, math, entrepreneurship, the kind of skills that you're going to need to have jobs, but also to do service and build a better world and better society. We are very grateful to the partners, not only the schools, but community-based organizations, government agencies like NASA and like the U.S. Department of State, nonprofits like ASTRA, the Alliance for Science Technology Research in America, or the National Student Leadership Conference, which gives scholarships. And I've been able to scholarship in 7 years 84 students to go to summer institutes. But the other strategy we have in cultivating you as leaders is to run these virtual visits and have you, because we believe that the future is now. The future is you. The future is technology. And one of our themes is technology for education as a tool for economic and entrepreneurial empowerment. And so I'm very thrilled. You've already met Dr. Austria, who's the instructional supervisor of so many high schools in Prince George's County. And now we're going to turn it over to her to introduce her instructional specialist, who will introduce our host ambassadors today.
Yes, please. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Ronnie. Now we would like to call on Hazar Zakor Biddle, and she's the ESOL lead. Tell me again, you're instructional lead teacher at High Point High School, and she will introduce her cyber journalist and NGY ambassadors.
Excellent. Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Asya. Thank you so much, Dr. Ronnie, for giving High Point this great opportunity. Thank you, Ms. Torgi, for getting this great opportunity to use our classroom.
And this is Ms. Turgi.
Yes, she's a great sample and great example of using technology and implementing technology within our teaching methods, especially for our ELL.
Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry to interrupt. We have Duval High School. Oh, Duval High School, how are you? Oh, you have to unmute your phone. You have to unmute your phone. Oh, okay. They'll figure it out.
Okay. So it's been a great experience working with the NGY, and it's been we have two great scholars. Kevin, he is an NGY cyber journalist that has been inspired by NGY activity. He's been pretty active. He got this talent to write and document a lot of our events as well in his own creative way. And Kevin, here he is going to introduce for us our guest. And, go ahead,
yes,
Kevin.
please.
Okay, so Karen Bolden is a national award-winning youth motivational speaker and millennial life coach who advocates for students to graduate on time by making healthy life choices through rock rapper.
He's a rapper.
Yay! But do you want to say something else?
Right.
Woohoo!
And we're thrilled to have Karan work with our schools again. He was a lead facilitator at the National Youth Summit when we met him. And Karan, I'm going to let you continue sharing your life journey so the students can see how they can turn their dreams into a reality. And you can talk about your life and the strategies for success. So here we turn it over now to Karan.
Okay, well, thank you so much. How's everybody doing?
We are good!
All right. Well, I'm really excited to talk to you today because I have a story and I also have information. And in this presentation that I'm about to do, I am going to tell you 3 keys on how you can be successful. And it's really hard when you think about being successful. Do you turn left? Do you turn right? Do you go up? Do you go down? It is really hard, especially being a teen, or even if you get in your 20s, or even if you get in your 30s. No matter what's going on in your life, no matter what age you are, no matter what background you come from, how do you make good decisions? Okay, and so there's 3 things that I like. All right, and I like to have fun, but there's 3 things that I use in order to make great decisions. And has anybody ever played this game before? Let's go like this. Rock, paper, scissors. Anybody ever played that before?
Yes!
All right, cool. Well, did you know that the game Rock, Paper, Scissors, did you know that there was a philosophy in Rock, Paper, Scissors? And you're like, how could there be a philosophy in decision-making and being successful in the game of rock, paper, scissors? Well, I'm glad that you asked, because there are 3 things in life that I use in order to be successful from the game rock, paper, scissors. And the first thing that you need to be successful is you need to have a rock moment. Everybody say rock.
Rock!
You first have to have a rock moment. In order to be successful in life, you have to believe that you can be successful. You have to believe that you can achieve the goal that's in front of you. You have to believe that you have a purpose in life. And so rock means to believe. I'll say that again. Rock means to believe. And so I'll give you a quick story really quick on how much your belief system can impact the choices that you make in life and also your physical performance. And so one day it went like this. There were 2 psychologists. They decided to bring in 2 arm wrestlers to see if they could sway the way that the game would go. They wanted to see if they could change the outcome of a game. And so they said, I wonder what would make this really interesting, studying the powers of words and self-esteem. And what they did is they took 2 arm wrestlers, 2 total opposite ends of physical strength. They took one arm wrestler that was really strong. He had everything going on in his life. He had the best coaches. He had the best mentors. He went to the best schools. He had the best education. He had a lot of money in his household. He had the best coaches. He traveled around the country. And he had these amazing coaches in his life that helped him become successful. And he was very proud. And they put him into a room by himself. They closed the door, bow. And then they took an arm wrestler that was really weak. He really wasn't that good in life. He didn't have his mom in his life. He actually stayed with his grandma. And he didn't have his dad in his life. And he didn't have a lot of money. Actually, the only meal that he ate was the meals that he ate at school, right? So he was already defeated, and he also lost every match. And so they put him in a room. But listen at how this worked. The psychologist wanted to see if they could change the outcome. Evidently, the person that was stronger was supposed to win this match. And the person that was weaker was supposed to lose the match. But listen, they went into the room with the arm wrestler that was really strong and proud, and he had his chest poked out. And they walked into a room and they said, "Sir, we're sorry to tell you this, but you've been winning every single match, but today is your last match that you will ever win. This is over for you. We actually got a guy that we flew in from out of the country, and we're telling you that you are going to be a loser. You will never be successful after this. We finally have found someone that's going to knock you down. It's going to take you down. You are nothing. You came from all this glitz and glamour. You've been spoon-fed your success. But this person that we got in the other room, he's hungry. He's focused. He's certified to beat you. It is over for you. You might as well just give up right now." When they closed the door. And the arm wrestler that was strong, that was the champion, began to slump down in the seat a little bit. He couldn't understand why these psychologists were telling him that he was about to lose the match. And he started to let these words sink into his head. And the more that he listened to the words that were spoken over him, the more his self-esteem went lower and lower and lower. And so they closed the door and they went into the other room with the guy that was really weak. He lost every match, and they walked up to him and they said, "Hey, yo, champ." And the arm wrestler that was weak, he lost every match. He looked up, he said, "You mean me? You talking to me?" You said, "Champ, I'm no champion." They said, No. I don't think you see what we see. We see a leader. We see an overcomer. We see a good comeback story in you. And we see somebody that has the potential to be great in life. Everybody say potential.
Potential
To be great in life.
to be great in life.
They looked at him and they said, "You have the potential to be great, but I want to let you know one thing. I'm going to coach you to success, but I want to let you know one thing. You have to give up your past. And I can't help you change your past, but I can definitely help you change your future if you listen at what I'm saying." And they looked him in his eyes and they said, "I believe in you, champ. Today is going to be a turnaround day. Today is going to be a remarkable day of success. Today you're going to have supernatural strength. Today is going to be the day that you're going to be called champion. And from now on, you will wear a moniker of a champion." And they closed the door and they let him sit for a minute with those words. And he couldn't quite figure out why. Nobody had ever up until this time called him champ, but for some strange reason, he believed on the inside of him that he was a champion now. Well, they let them both sit with the words, and they let the two arm wrestlers come back to each other. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, all across the world, 10 times out of 12 times, the person that was deemed a loser, that didn't have his mom and dad in the house, was physically not capable of beating his opponent, 10 times out of 12 times he won the match. What an amazing story of triumph. Now, there's two key training thoughts here about belief. One is there was a person that had everything going on in his life. He had the best coaches. He had the best education. But at the end of the day, somebody lied to him and told him that he was not going to be what he was. And when he believed the lie, even though he was physically capable, he still lost in the game of life. And so if you're listening right now and you have great teachers around you, you have great mentors around you, I want to encourage you to stay on that path and to not take that for granted. Because if someone comes into your life and speaks a lie to you and you believe it, you can still lose. You're not out of the gray zone. You're not out of the gray area. You can still lose if you don't take advantage and appreciate the people that are in your life that are speaking great things. But then on the other hand, you might say, Karan, I'm like the guy, I feel like the loser, honestly. Every time I come into school, nobody really knows. I only eat one time in a day. My lights are cut off. My dad's not in my house. My mom doesn't really believe in me. I really feel like I don't even know why I'm living right now. And I want to let you know, just like those two psychologists walked into their room that day, I want to tell you that I believe in you. I want to tell you that no matter what you're going through in life currently right now, you are a champion. Yep, I'm talking to you. There's somebody in this classroom right now that needs to hear this message, and I'm letting you know that I am calling you champion. You are a champion. You are great. You are an overcomer. You are going to defeat the odds. Everything that has happened to you in your past is going to help you elevate into your future. But you have to listen to me. I cannot help you change your past, but I can definitely help you change your future. So the first thing that you must do is change your mindset, change your belief set. Identify those people that have spoken bad things over your life, those people that put limits on you, people that told you you can't reach your dream. You're not tall enough. You're not the right color. You're not the right weight size. You don't have enough talent. All those people that told you what you are not, I want you to first forgive them because they cannot see that you're just a diamond in the rough. Forgive them is your first step to letting go of your past and changing into this new person with this amazing belief system. So first off, forgive them, and now let's get ready to move forward because you are a champion. Can I get a round of applause for that story right now? I'm getting excited. All right. So the first thing you must do to be successful in life, you must first believe. Nothing can happen unless you believe that it can happen. As a matter of fact, Henry Ford once said that whether you believe that you can or believe that you can't, either way you're right. Did you know that it takes the same amount of energy to be successful as it takes to be unsuccessful? I mean, just think about it. To be unsuccessful, you have to think about worry, fear, these tormenting thoughts. You're not good enough. Those thoughts torment you, and it drains your energy all day long. And then if you think positive thoughts, of course, you have to fight for those positive thoughts, but it takes just as much energy to be successful as it takes to be unsuccessful. So if you're going to take the same and exert the same amount of energy every single day, you might as well use that energy on positivity. All right? So the second thing, everybody say second thing.
Second thing.
The second strategy that you must have in this rock, paper, scissors formula is paper. Paper, paper, paper. And paper simply means to set goals. Do your homework. Do your strategy. All right? And so before I get to that really quick, let me tell you a little bit about myself. So my name's Karan Bolden. I'm a national youth motivational speaker. I'm an author and entrepreneur. I've been in business for the last 6 years, and I'm going to get to that in a moment, but I want to talk to you about me and my school years. So when I was growing up, I had A's and B's. I was an honor roll student, and I had everything going for myself. I honestly had things going good for me, but one thing, my dad wasn't around in my life, and that kind of bothered me a little bit, but I had a mentor in my life, and he was actually my older brother. And so my older brother would always come pick me up, and he put me on this motorcycle. He had this brand new motorcycle, and as you can see, I kind of got like a big head, so he had to shove the motorcycle helmet down on my head. And I'm like, brother, I really want you to come pick me up. Come pick me up. And he would take me around the block on his motorcycle. I was probably about 7 or 8. So he would take me around the block on the motorcycle, and he literally was like my father figure because my real dad wasn't in my life. But then one day I woke up, right? And I look at the bottom of the steps. It was about midnight. I looked down at the bottom of the steps. I see my mom at the bottom of the steps talking to my two aunties. And my two aunties were crying. They were weeping. And I couldn't understand why, for the life of me, that my aunties were at my house at midnight crying and weeping. And so my mom said, "What is going on? What's going on?" And my two aunties, they had their head down low and they really didn't want to look at my mom in the face. And my mom was like, "Will you please tell me what's going on?" And these words proceeded from their mouth that changed my life forever. They said these words. They said, "He is gone." And at that moment, I didn't know what "he is gone" meant, but I knew that something literally died on the inside of me that day. And without listening to the rest of the story, I went back to my room, I went to sleep, and I woke up the next morning and I found out what that meant. And it meant that my brother had been killed. I lost my brother to gun violence that night, and my life was changed forever. Now, I don't know if anybody's out there that's ever lost anything close to you. Maybe it was a family member, maybe it was an auntie, maybe it was a cousin, maybe it was a grandmother, grandfather, or maybe you haven't lost anybody physically, but maybe you've lost something dear to you. Maybe it was like a diary or an award that you got and somebody took it, or it got damaged some type of way and it got lost. But you know how that feels. So I want to let you know that things will happen in life that are out of your control, but you can't let it control you. You don't have to be out of control just because the world is out of control. And that day, I allowed the world to begin to tell me who I was. I had a few people that came in my life that couldn't understand why I went from A's and B's to getting C's, D's, and F's. All throughout life, I began to be a misfit, and I didn't quite fit in. I was an introverted student. I didn't really want to talk unless I was telling a joke. I turned into a class clown. And so, with that being said, I kind of lost myself. I got involved with the wrong crowds. I began to let the world tell me the lie that I couldn't be what I wanted to be. They would always say, "Karani's a really good student if he would just apply himself." But I didn't know how to apply myself. I lost my brother. I have some emotional issues that nobody ever asked me about. Nobody asked me how my day was going. Nobody asked me could they buy me an apple or orange for lunch. Nobody ever came to any basketball games or come to any of my other extracurricular activities. The only thing that they wanted me to do was perform, perform, perform. And nobody ever reached my emotional side and asked me how I felt. And so instead of using my talents and gifts for the right thing, I started getting involved in the wrong crowds. I got C's, D's, and F's through school. I just barely made it by, and I believed the lie. After a while, so many people told me that I wasn't going to be anything that I said, "You know what? If you're going to give me this label, I might as well live up to that label." And so I start to become this bad student that was seeking for attention until I found my belief set that I was going to be great. There was a lady by the name of Miss Christmas. She was a school counselor that came into my life, and she said, "I know you've been suspended, but I'm not going to let the world suspend you from your destiny." That's powerful. I'm going to say that one more time. The world is trying to suspend you, but I'm not going to let the world suspend you from your destiny. And from that day forward, she began to speak life over me. She said, "Karan, you're great. Karan, you're a champion. You can get A's, you can get B's, you can get scholarships." She took me on my first visit out of the state to go do a college visit, and she changed my world forever. Then she told me, she said, "Karan, what is the gift that you have?" And my gift that I had was rapping. Yes, I am a rapper. I'm going to talk about that in just a quick second. But I had became a rapper. And she said, "Find what you love to do it for free, and I guarantee you somebody will end up paying you for it if you stay focused with your vision." And so I spoke out every single day, and I wrote down on paper that I was going to be a rapper. I started to walk like a rapper. Start to walk like a rapper. I started to talk like a rapper. I became a rapper. And I began to set this new goal in my life. And I said, "You know what? I am going to walk like a rapper. I'm going to talk like a rapper. I am going to become a rapper. I'm speaking into existence right now that I am going to become a rapper. Before I tell you what happened, this is what I want to tell you as a moral on paper. When you write things down on paper, something magical happens. If you want to be the president of the United States of America, you don't have to wait until your 30s, your 40s, or 50s to start becoming the president. You need to start right now dressing up like the president. People might laugh at you at school and say, what is this guy? What is wrong with him? What is wrong with her? She wants to become the president. She'll never do that. Why is she dressing up? She looks like a clown coming to school dressing up. She says she's going to be the president. But this is what I want to tell you. If you become the president outwardly, you will become the president inwardly. What you see before your face, when you start to dress up, you'll start to believe it on the inside of you. Once you start to believe it on the inside of you, the world will see it on the outside of you. Wow, that's powerful too. This is coming straight from my spirit right now. When you start to believe on the inside of you, then the world will realize what's going on the outside of you. You become the president today so that you can become the president tomorrow. And even if nobody else believes in you, as long as you believe in you, that's all that matters. If you believe in you, enough people will start to get on board and start to believe in you as well. But in my case, I wrote down on a piece of paper that I was going to be a rapper, and I spoke into existence that I was going to get a major record deal, and that's exactly what happened. I ended up getting signed with Def Jam, which is a label that's under Universal. Anybody ever heard of Kanye West, Jay-Z? You ever heard of these artists? Rihanna, right?
Yes, of course.
All right, so that was the label that I was with. And I wrote down on paper that I was going to be an amazing recording artist, and it happened for me. I got a $150,000 record deal. I'm actually going to show you a video coming up here shortly. I had a $150,000 record deal, and I was going to get almost close to $1 million in 90 days, except for one thing had happened to me. Whenever you want to be something great, I'm talking to somebody right now. I don't know who I'm talking to, but I know I'm talking to somebody. Whenever you decide to make the decision to be someone great, everything that can go wrong in your life will go wrong in your life. I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm saying that to encourage you so that you can know what you need on the inside of you to overcome the things that are coming your way. Darkness does not want to coexist with the light that's inside of you. And so what I'm telling you is I'm encouraging you and I'm speaking life into you to let you know that bad things will happen to good people, but if you stay forward, good people will still overcome and will still rise to the occasion. And so I'm about to show you this video of what happened with my record deal and how when I got that record deal, I ended up losing that record deal because the president of the company, he ended up resigning, and I felt like I lost my life at that moment. Listen to what I'm saying. I felt like it was over for me. It didn't happen the way that I thought that it was going to happen, and I became discouraged. I don't know if there's anybody out there, but have you ever believed in something and it didn't happen the way that you wanted it to happen, so you just gave up, like your self-esteem was low? And you don't have to say anything, but I just want to let you know that I'm talking to you today, and I want to let you know that I understand how you feel. But the thing that I want to give to you before I get off this line today is that I want to give you a message of hope, a message of endurance, that if you stay in the game and you don't give up and you surround yourself around the right people, you too can be a victorious person. And so I'm going to show you this video. I ended up losing this record deal, and really quick, I'm going to play this video. I ended up losing this record deal, but I got back on track because I put the right people around me. And so in this video that I'm about to show you, I used to have dreams.
I think there are not enough positive stories on the news.
So this video is going to show you
Dana Dean is telling
who I used to be.
hip-hop
So check this
music
video
is
out.
being used to motivate students to succeed in school. Dana, the person behind...
Sorry, Karan.
Oh, no, that's okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me try. I'm going to share it.
Yeah, you have to put it up. Not that one. That one.
And a new music program in some St. Louis area schools is a rapper turned role model.
1, 2, 3.
At this inner city charter school, ninth graders are learning a formula, but this isn't math class. This is a class.
Hold on.
Okay.
You guys didn't see it yet, right?
No.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna do that. Actually, okay.
I think there are not enough positive stories on the news, but want to watch this one.
Dana Dean is telling us how hip-hop music is being used to motivate students to succeed in school. Dana?
The person behind a new music program in some St. Louis area schools is a rapper turned role model.
Can you all see it?
1, 2, 3.
At this inner city charter school, ninth graders are learning a formula, but this isn't math class. This is a class on how to succeed. These Confluence Prep Academy students study a formula for success, not with the help of any textbook, but with the help of hip-hop. Instructor Karan Bolden uses the music kids listen to outside of class as his teaching tool inside of class. In Bolden's 6-week course, students write a positive hip-hop song about their dreams.
There needs to be more positive messages in the media since our kids are heavily influenced by it.
But Bolden hasn't always had this perspective. That's Bolden 8 years ago when he signed a $150,000 deal with one of the most successful record labels in history, Def Jam. The money went as quickly as it came.
$10,000 chains and jewelry.
But it was only a matter of months until he says his record deal faded. He went from being seen on MTV to working a minimum wage job.
I was asking myself, why me?
Bolden took a good listen to the music he was making and didn't like what he heard.
It wasn't the message that I wanted to push out. I said, there's time for a change.
That's when Bolden says he started to turn his life around.
I actually started getting involved in church.
And with newfound faith, Bolden opened a recording studio in the St. Louis Mills Mall.
No profanity in my studio.
That, he says, is what got the attention of school administrators in the area.
You can become anything that you want to become in life.
Motivational speaking engagements at schools turned into a motivational music program he calls Dream Success.
I have a background from the urban community. Since I made it out of that place, it's only right for me to go back to where I came from.
Students get to record the song in Bolden's studio. The result is a pretty catchy song about going to college.
Books, academics, it's a key necessity to success.
Well, I like that song. Karan is being recognized for what he does to motivate teens through positive music. He recently won the Verizon Wireless Everyday Hero Award for St. Louis. And guys, the person who nominated him said 2 students he worked with went from dropping out of school to getting re-enrolled and now pursuing a degree in college.
That is great. And it seems like the message then is you may not become a rap star, but if you apply your creative energies and work hard, who knows?
Exactly. And one student I spoke with says she now wants to become an aerospace engineer just because of how cool the program was, and she was just so inspired to dream big.
That is fantastic. So can anyone go to his place at St. Louis Mills?
Yeah, the St. Louis, anyone can walk in and record a song, but no profanity. That's his rule. So it's positive hip hop. So he's doing good things. Definitely one of the coolest people I've met here in St. Louis.
That is fantastic. Thanks, Dana.
Yay, let's give a big round of applause to Karan Bolden, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Listen, I wanted to show you that video because I had lost my record deal, but I'm back and I'm better than ever. Listen to what I'm saying. Somebody in this audience, on this virtual screen, you need to know that you can make a comeback and become better than you have ever become before. Listen, before I made that big jump, this is the great part. You have to have your rock to believe. You then have to have your scissors, your paper, to write down all of your goals. And when I tell you dream big, I mean dream big. You know, they said that Walt Disney before it became what it was. They say he used to stare for hours and hours and hours out of this blank field. It was a blank canvas, and he was painting pictures in his mind on this blank canvas that nobody could see. And people would walk up to Walt, and they would say, Walt, you are out of your mind. What are you using? He said, I see an amusement park. They said, that's no amusement park. That is a field of grass. There's nothing there, Walt. You are crazy. He said, no, I see an amusement park. I see people having fun with their family. I see something that you can't see. So what I want to tell you is that those dreams that you have on the inside of you, other people are not supposed to see what you see at first. Notice that I said at first. As you begin to work on your vision, little bit by little bit, people will start to believe. And it is your job. Listen at what I'm saying. It is your social responsibility on this earth to make people believe. You are your own salesman. You are your own billboard. You are your own TV commercial. You are your own newspaper. If you allow people to tell your story, they might tell a story that's not representative or something that represents who you truly are. And if you look on the news, I don't think that any of us want anybody to tell our story because it's all gloom, doom, and it's bad, the stock market, oh my God, the school system, oh, the government, you see the presidential election, oh my God, you see all this stuff going on. You don't want the world to tell your story. You go out and you tell the story. And so in order to be able to do that, you have to be able to do this. This is the turning point in my life. I remember what it was like. Remember when I was telling you how I felt that my dad wasn't around? I was angry. The part that I didn't tell you is that I remember I used to get so mad in school. I was a good kid. I used to get so mad at school that I literally would like tear up like the room. Like when I got mad, I would literally push stuff around, turn over tables and stuff. I was really upset because I was frustrated. I wasn't a bad kid. I was frustrated. And nobody could show me how to get that frustration, that energy out of me. And so I became frustrated. But what I want to tell you today is that the thing that you'll have to do, the hardest thing that it'll be for you and I is not to believe, and it's not to write things down on paper. But the hardest thing in the world is to be able to make a decision to believe and write it down on paper, but then deciding to pull out your scissors out your pocket and cutting away everything out your life that don't line up with what you believe and what you wrote down on paper. What does that mean? That means if you want to be a basketball star and everybody's trying to get you to play football all your life, if you know that you're going to be a basketball star, focus on basketball. They say Larry Bird used to shoot three-pointers every single day, 400 shots every single day. They say Michael Jordan, you couldn't get him to go outside and do anything other than play basketball. That's why he's great. Now, if you want to be mediocre, go do everything. But if you want to be great, I'm telling you, focus down with your scissors. Cut everything out your life. Somebody asks you to come do drugs, you know for a fact that can mean you lose your scholarship. That can mean you get suspended out of school. It'll mess up your chances. You disqualified yourself. You got to say no. Listen, I'm not doing that. Somebody say, hey, let's skip school today. Yo, I'm not doing that. If I skip school, I'll probably end up creating a character where I'll skip practice. If you skip school, you will skip practice. Say that again. If you skip school, you'll end up skipping practice, basketball practice, cheerleading practice, tennis practice. You gotta have a certain type of character, right? And so this is where I was challenged at. When I lost my record deal, my mom used to always come up to me. She said, by the way, I remember a year when I was so bad that I got suspended 22 times in the school year, right? Couldn't believe it. Totally not who I am. She came up to me, she said, Karan, I want you to do one thing. It's not, I've already lost a son. It doesn't matter how much money you have in your pocket. I'm not worried about that. I don't care if you graduate. I'm not really even caring about that because I lost a son that had just graduated from college. But if you do this one thing for me, I guarantee you, you will be successful. And if you do this one thing, you'll get the degree. You'll get the money. You'll get the house. You'll get the car. I want you to do one thing. You know how upset that you are that you don't have your dad in your life. I want you to make me a promise that when you have a son, that you'll break the cycle. And if you break the cycle in your household, forever and ever, you will already be a success story. In the midst of me losing my record deal, I had the opportunity to get another record deal. But I found out that I had a son on the way. And I ended up having to choose which way that I wanted to go. And as bad as I wanted to go and chase that other record deal to be able to show everybody wrong that I didn't fall off, I stayed here and I took care of my son. And I went from a $150,000 record deal to making $7 an hour. But as I get ready to close this out, my destiny, as you see the video, it didn't stay that way. See, I had something on the inside of me that told me that I will go to the bottom if it means that I could rise back up to the top. I went back down to the bottom and I made $7 an hour, minimum wage, but I operated in excellence. I went from $7 to $8, $8 to $9, $9 to $10, became the manager, 12, went up to $12 an hour. I saved up my money and I opened up a recording studio, and that studio now, in the last 5 years, I've been able to speak to over 100,000 students. I work with organizations such as Wells Fargo, Banana Republic, Gap. I spoke at their conference 2 years ago, me on stage, the person that was least likely to succeed, the person that dropped out of school and ended up going back, the person that got suspended all of these times. That person now is going back into education, and I feel like now, it was all worth it. Could it be, as I close, could it be that everything that you're going through in life right now, could it be that you're going to have to use that story to connect and relate to somebody else to pull them out of their same situation? When you're going through it, it doesn't feel good, but I can guarantee you right now that I wouldn't change anything about my life because I'm able to connect, hopefully, with somebody out in the audience today that's going through the same thing that I've went through, and you just need a little bit of motivation. And what I want to tell you is, as I close, I want to tell you that you are a great, great person. You are a champion. You are a leader. You are not afraid. There is nothing that can stop you. There is no negative force that is bigger than the great work that's on the inside of you. And I speak into existence that from this day forward, you have a clean slate from all the past mistakes that you've made, all those tormenting thoughts that tell you that you can't, you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not bright enough. That is a lie. And I want to tell you that you are good enough, you are bright enough, you are smart enough, and you have the power on the inside of you to be all you were created to be. And everything that you were created to be will lead you into your destiny to help somebody else become who they were created to be. And I want to thank you guys for your time. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So, Karan, just to reiterate, so the rock is to believe.
Yes.
And then what about the paper?
The paper, it means to write it down on paper. It means goals. It means strategize.
Okay, and then the scissors.
Scissors is focus. You gotta focus. You gotta have laser sharp focus.
And scissor means you cut. The scissor means you cut out all the negative, and you focus on the positive and your educational opportunities and your people opportunities.
Yes.
And we know that Karan, we met him at the National Youth Summit at the Kennedy Center and at Howard University, and his message is inspiring, and we are so thrilled that he's becoming an advisor. You know why? It started out when we first walked in the room. I told you that you have people like your teachers in the school, your principal in the school, your superintendent of the district. You have people like me coming in and Karan saying, we believe in you. So we want to make sure that you do rock, paper, scissors, get in touch with your vision, and then you can be successful. Thank you today for addressing these 3 strategies, and now we would like to get some input and dialogue from our youth.
Correct.
And now when you come up and sit here. Make sure that your face is shown on the screen, and what you must clearly state your name, and you're a cyber journalist at the school you're at. So we're in High Point. Your name, and you're a cyber journalist, and then ask your question.
My name is Sebastian Ponce. I'm at High Point High School. My question is,
Louder.
How come that you didn't sign that second record deal?
Okay.
If you would have signed that second record deal, would that change your life?
Well, this is what I want to tell you is, here, let me plug this up really quick. What I want to tell you is, that second record deal would have meant that I would have had to take my new son into a foreign territory. I wouldn't have been around my son, and so I figured in my head that, you know, when I have a great opportunity to either take care of my son and be great, you know, and give him the opportunity, which meant in my head that I would lose everything, or go and be irresponsible and come back and say, you know what, I'm going to go off and chase this record deal. I'll come back and maybe my son's maybe like 2 or 3 years old, and then I'll get a chance to be around him. But that hurt and that pain that I had when I was growing up, there is no way possible that I would let my son, I would give up my dreams. I would give up my car. I would give up my house. There was no way possible that I could continuously move forward and be irresponsible and not take care of my son. It hurt me too bad. And there was no way possible that I was going to let my son grow up without his father. I was committed. I was totally committed to making sure that he had everything that he needed, even if it means that I had to give up on my dream. And what I found out is that in actuality now, my son he's a lot further than I am or I could have ever been. And I still became successful. My mom was right. You have to ask yourself, is this something that I believe in? Is it one of my goals? And cut out the distractions. Well, believing at that particular time when I was doing my music, I wasn't making the most positive music. I was making some music that it was, you know, I'm not proud of, you know. I was kind of destroying my community with the words that I was saying out of my mouth. So it didn't line up with what I believed in. I wrote it down on paper. Yeah, it you know, it was one of my goals, but it wasn't a priority over my son. So even when you're writing down your goals, you have to write down which goals are your priorities. Because you can have 100 goals. How do you know which one to focus on? I focused on the one that was the most important to me, which was my son. And so that's why the rock, paper, scissors philosophy works, because it helps you get everything on paper, and then it helps you strategize as well. And so that's why I didn't go with the record deal, because it didn't line up with my mindset. It was one of my goals on paper, but it was not more important than my son. And then I had to pull out my scissors and I cut everything out. And so that's why I decided to stay with my son.
Thank you.
I have one more question.
Okay. Can I ask?
Hold on one second.
Okay,
Yes.
ask the question.
Hold on 1 second. Before we will give an opportunity for each school to ask a question. But right now, I just want to acknowledge also, because Bladensburg High School joined us as well. Hi, Bladensburg.
Hello.
And then we also have Oxon Hill High School that joined us.
Hey.
And of course, we already have Duval. Eleanor Roosevelt.
Hi.
And of course, High Point High School. Now, we have one more question from High Point, and then we'll go to each school. We'll ask one question from Eleanor Roosevelt, and then Bladensburg, and then Duval. Okay?
Okay.
We don't have time for that. Okay, now, here, when the bell is,
Hi, my name is Jose, and I'm a cyber journalist, and
It's 12 o'clock.
I have a question for you.
Louder.
Yeah. Do you have another goal in your life now? Like another...
Yeah, so I do have I have some big goals. You know, I've done so many things. I really just want to. I mean, my overarching goal is I want to build up as many entrepreneurs as I possibly can. If I had a goal that's just immediately before me right now, oh, there's so many. Wow.
You got him.
Well, yeah, I got a lot of goals. I mean, the goal that I'm focusing on right now is I want to be the #1 speaker in the world when it comes to millennials.
Karan, you need to come to Prince George's County Public Schools.
I definitely want to come. I definitely want to come.
You want to
Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I want to be the #1 speaker in the world, and so I'm really focusing on that. And I really want to I just want to impact people. I want to be the #1 speaker in the world, and that's what I'm focusing on right now. So I have many other goals, but that is on the forefront because the more people I get in front of and speak in front of, the more lives that'll change, the more entrepreneurs that'll get out there, the more people that'll go to college, the more people that'll graduate from college, the more people that'll graduate from school, the more people that'll become CEOs, or even if you don't own your own business, but become a CEO or a president or a director. Like, I want people to live the life that they were called to live and be free and be happy in life. And I believe that I have that in me to spark a flame in people. And so that's my goal right now.
All right, here goes. Okay, thank you for that. So we are going to call on Eleanor Roosevelt because I think...
Sure. All right, so here, Eleanor Roosevelt. Can you get closer? Yes.
Hey, good afternoon, Karan. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Great. So you mentioned being surrounded by positive individuals. I want to know, my question to you is, how important do you believe that it is to surround yourself with positive individuals and being positive as opposed to being in the bad crowd, as you put it? And what are the benefits that come with that?
Yeah, so there's two things that determine who you're going to be. The #1, the books that you read, and #2, the people that you surround yourself around. I'm going to say that again. What determines whether you're going to be successful or not is the books that you read. Become a reader. You have to listen. The way I really changed my life is I started to read. I hated reading through school. I could not stand reading. But what I found out is that was just people telling me that. What I found out is that there were certain books that I don't like, but if you find the right book, I can guarantee you will not put it down. And so I started reading certain books on leadership and branding and marketing, and I love to read now. I read all the time. So #1 is the books that you read, and then #2 is the people you surround yourself around. I could just remember, even in life right now, the people whoever you hang around, you start to take on their characteristics. So if you're talking to a person that's lazy and you hang around them long enough, you'll become lazy. I remember a time that I knew a guy that used to be late all the time to all his appointments. And he had a friend that was always on time. He came early. They started hanging out so much that the person that used to come early started coming chronically late later on, because you are what you hang around. Birds of a feather do flock together. And so if you really think about it, do you want bad habits? You want to move forward in life. And so the benefits of it is that if you hang around a CEO, you will eventually become a CEO. If you hang around a Michael Jordan, eventually you will become a mini Michael Jordan. He's going to show you the ropes. He's going to give you tips and tools on how you can live just like him. And so I say all that to say this is that whoever you are, whoever you want to become, it rubs off on you. If you don't have those right friends around you, I'll tell you this, it just came to my head, that most leaders go through a period of loneliness. And the cousin of leadership is loneliness. So when you want to do something great and you want to step out and be something great, that means you have to come outside your comfort zone, which means that most of the people around you, They don't want to come out their comfort zone, so you might be alone for a while. But what I want to let you know is that loneliness, you'll have a time to now discover who you truly are. And once you discover who you truly are, you'll be able to go help other people discover who they are, and then you'll get a brand new set of friends that'll love you way more than the friends that are mediocre around you. So don't be afraid to be lonely. Don't be afraid to be rejected. I've had to go through several different periods like that where I've been lonely and rejected as I go higher and higher. Sometimes you can't take the same people that were on elevator level 3 up to level 10. You got to drop them off. You got to let them get off the elevator, and you got to keep going higher, and guarantee you there will be other people that'll get in on level 10 that'll hop in and go to level 12 with you. And so I just want to let you know to be encouraged, to understand that some people are going to be in your life forever, but there will be some friends that will leave. And it'll be people that have been your childhood friends, and they won't be your friend after you get out of high school and you go off to college. You'll get new friends. And so don't be afraid to let people go and allow different people to come in and out your life, because there are great benefits to having good people in your life.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Eleanor Roosevelt. And now, Bladensburg High School, you need to unmute your microphone so you can ask Karan a question, please. Okay.
Okay, good morning, everyone. So we have here a question from one of the students. Hi, I'm Mr. Sabri. I'm here in Manchester. I just want to ask a question. If what was something that you've learned throughout your career, something important that you think it's good for people to know?
Okay, can you repeat it? I can't really hear you.
My question is, what's something important you have learned throughout your career?
I can't really hear it.
Sorry, sorry, Violi, we cannot really hear it. Maybe the microphone is too close beside her. Please, can you ask her to stand up, please? And then can she repeat the question again? Thank you.
Okay. My question is, what's something important you learned throughout your career?
Something important that I learned in my career. I have learned.
What have you learned?
What have you learned in your career? That's the question.
Yeah. So the question was, what was something that was important that you learned in your career? I would tell you to. Basically, I would say if you really want to become successful in life, is that don't focus on helping yourself. Focus on helping other people. Put other people before yourself. I got into motivational speaking on accident. I was at my recording studio, and I would have these government officials come in, and I would have these principals come by, and they would ask me, who owns this place? And I would say, I own it. And they were like, wow, you're really young. Like, can I get you to come talk to my students? And I just so happened to just say, yeah. And I went into the schools, and I did really well on my first speaking engagement. And then from there, they referred me, and that person referred me, and then they referred me. And then somebody pulled me to the side and said, did you know that you can do this for a living? And I was like, I couldn't understand it because I was just serving. I was volunteering. And then it turned into a business for me. And so what I want to tell you is just like the saying goes, if you do what you love to do that thing, even if you had to do it for free, and somebody will see you one day, and they'll see your good heart, and they'll begin to show you how you can get paid to do it. So what I'll tell you is that treat every single person that you meet with the utmost respect to build a great name. There is nothing worse than a bad name. Nobody will, even before you even show up, people will they don't want to deal with you because you've done bad things. And it's really hard after your reputation is tarnished to get it back. And so what I want to say is that if you're listening now and you have a bad reputation with your parents or at school, you can change that around. It takes a while to do it. So I want to encourage you on that end. But what I want to tell you is that don't mess up your reputation. It's all you have. Your name is the only thing that you have. And the way that you build up a really good brand and a really good name is to help people. Don't go into a situation asking what can you get out of the situation. When I have lunch meetings with people, I sit there 90% of the time that I'm talking to the person, I'm asking them about them. I don't talk about myself. I want to know about the person. I want to know how can I help them. I want to know how I can add value to them. And when you add value to people, on the day that somebody says, let's say, for instance, they say, I need a motivational speaker. Do you know anybody? The first person that they're going to say is Karan Bolden. Why? Because my reputation is good. My motives are pure. I've never made it seem like I was self-seeking for any reason. I volunteer my time, and I become friends with people. And so I can guarantee you, if you really want to move forward in life, you have to be a person that adds value to other people more than you add value to yourself.
All right, that is phenomenal. Thank you so much. Now, are you ready, Duval High School? Oh, unmute your phone.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. My students missed part of this presentation because they had to go to lunch. So, but I have a student here who is volunteering to ask a question. So just hold on.
My question is, do you think you could have still been successful had your mom not stepped in?
Well, first I want to tell you thank you for not going to lunch just to ask me that question. You're awesome.
Okay, I'm sorry. Some of the students are asking if you could repeat the question.
I said, do you think you could have been still, oh, never mind. Do you think you could have still been successful had your mom not stepped in?
You know,
your mom.
So she asked me a question. She says, "Do I think that I could have still been successful if had my mom not stepped in?"
Correct.
Yeah. So this is what I want to say This is what I want to say. There's a two-part answer to that. Number one, in my particular life, I don't feel like I could have been anything without my mom. My mom stood there with me hand in hand and believed in me when nobody else believed in me. So I could never say that I would have made it without her. She literally is the strongest person that I know even till today's date. She's the most strongest person that I know, because what mother wouldn't, take you to the juvenile correctional facility or put you up, to boot camp or something? She never did that. The only thing she did was love me. She disciplined me when she needed to, but she just kept believing in me because she just seen something on the inside of me. So I love my mom, and I definitely can't say that I would be where I am today without her. But then there's another side to that story too as well, because I come into contact with so many young people that don't have their mother nor their father in the household, and they might have a grandparent, or they might have an uncle or auntie or cousin that's really taking care of them. What I want to tell you is that no matter who is in your life, all you need is one person to believe in you. And that could be a counselor at your school. That could be your teacher that seems like that they're on you, on your case, and you feel like you're always picking on me. The reason that they're picking on you is because they see something in you. If they didn't care about you, they would let you fail. They get paid the same amount of money whether you fail or whether you succeed. So if a teacher is really on you, if your principal is on you, and it seems like they're being mean to you, they really are not being mean to you. They're really saying, I care about you. Now, they might not know how to say it in the right way, or a parent or a cousin might not know how to say it in the right way. But if you don't care about something, you don't say anything about it. You just let it happen. And so what I want to tell you is that if you don't have any support, or it feels like you don't have any support, I want to tell you that there is one person that can help you, and that might be a teacher. It might be a principal. It might be a counselor. It might be a director. It might be a friend. It might be a cousin. But get associated or get attached with one person that believes in you. And then at the end of the day, lastly, is if you feel like nobody believes in you, believe in yourself. And when you believe in yourself, it will attract a mentor into your life that will believe in you. It's happened with me. When nobody else believed in me in business, so in business, it was hard for me to find a business mentor. I kept believing in myself, and now I have people like, Dr. Ronnie and Dr. Joy that have come into my life, and they're helping me because I believed in myself. I believed that someone would come into me. So don't give up if you don't have anybody in your life. Continuously work on your gift and your craft. Continuously add value to your community, and eventually a mentor will see you You're a diamond in the rough. A mentor will eventually see you and start to mentor you and help you along the way.
Beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you. Thank you. Now, Oxon Hill High School, do you have a question or you're okay right now?
That's a bonus point.
All right. So, okay. So, basically, that's the end of our Google Hangout virtual visit with Karan Bolden. Let's give him another round of applause.
Thank you!
Woohoo! Rock, paper, scissors. Let's see, everybody. Rock, paper, scissors. Woohoo! Now,
Thank you so much.
woohoo! And another important piece. Please know that we are going to continue our conversations with turning our dreams to reality, and having this kind of conversation would help us and motivate ourselves to be the best that we can be. Correct?
Correct.
We are going to continue to have conversation with each other through blogging, excuse me, through tweeting, and we will be also communicating with each other, but I am going to turn it to Dr. Ronnie for now.
Boys and girls and wonderful educators who are pioneering the global next generation of youth using technology to link us to an inspiring role model to each other. We will continue to work together to harness technology for the E to the fourth power, education for economic entrepreneurial empowerment. Why? Because we believe in you. You are the future. The future is now. And again, we want to thank everyone for participating in this virtual visit. We will work together individually and collectively to create opportunities, and we hope to have Karan visit us for the next phase of rock,
paper, scissors.
Yay!
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye now.
Bye. Thank you, Karan. We'll get in touch with you.
All right.
Take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye. All right. Bye.
Bye.